So,
all right, let's slap a number on this baby. 310. What did I say? Who said it? Let's slap it.
yeah, 310. Episode
310?
3. Yep.
I love
Nailed it.
Oh, let's just close it right there.
Okay.
It's just not going to get any better than that. Oh, yeah. Welcome. Well, I don't even know where the cameras are now. We're at the Woodshed. We're at the Woodshed. This is the first one. I know we've recorded in here, but we are actually moving in full time. We're actually getting the wires done. We're getting all this stuff. And episode 310, SlapperCast weekly talk show with
Blaggards.
Man.
Yeah,
We were just at the Continental Club a couple of weeks back, and the Blaggards was all over the front page. It was beautiful.
I like the one that said "Thy Blaggards."
Nice.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. That was actually one of the bands that was trying to say that they'd never heard of our name. They're trying to register it. They put in, what about Thy Blaggards? I said, no.
Yeah,
No. Yes, what's been happening? Anything fun?
Well, we had the Continental show. And
Continental show?
that was fun.
Yeah.
And we had the 5 of us. So
5.
Yeah. I'm like, there's so many people. No, it was good.
Yeah.
That was a very impressive crowd.
Yeah.
I got a message from the boss there at Continental, just how much they enjoyed the sound and the full line. That was fun. Which incidentally, the 5, Jeff, Frank, of course us 3, we're all going to Ireland, which you should be as well. We just had some really good news come out of Arizona.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the good news?
My little brother's coming as well.
As well as your
twin brother. So I got both my brothers coming. Blaggards Ireland 2025.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
Wow.
mischief will be made.
I know. The Newtons.
Dang it. They're going to be like, you're not cool.
Well,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
so.
we've already met Kurt, your twin.
Yeah.
We met him in California when we played at, was it Mustang Sally's?
Yeah.
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 In Rancho
Yeah.
Cucamonga.
Actually, yeah. And
You met Craig a few times too in House.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
what-
Phoenix.
Just
Yeah.
a week ago. Yeah.
yeah, we actually know Craig well
Yeah.
from that. But meeting Kurt was, it was a blur because it was, we drove from Arizona to California, played the show, and then we had to hightail it up to Sonora
Yeah.
that night. So that was a haul. That was a monstrous undertaking right there.
Chad was hopped up on the Dayquil and NyQuil.
Yeah,
Remember
I'm
that?
starting to. This is my theory.
Yeah.
Chad, you can chime in anytime you want. But my theory is that because it happened in Omaha, it happened on that trip as well. But it just seems like you're faking your illnesses on the road to get out of. It was just
You got out of what? I didn't get out of doing anything.
Yeah, you did. You got out of driving. You got out of rehearsing. We got out of because we got the Airbnb in Omaha. And I didn't see him until we left.
No.
It's like I think he was in there just faking it, going.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That time we stopped to get food and we were in that like parking lot of kind of that shopping center. And we're like, Chad, you want to get something to eat? And he just like pops up out of the very back seat. And I was like, that's a no. I was like, his eyes. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, he was red. Your eyes were red. Your face was all puffy. I was like, no.
I don't know.
Mike, he's not coming.
Yeah, I don't know where you saw the red. I saw blue. I thought it was like somebody was propping you up in the back. I thought you were dead. It was like this Blue Man Group member. I was like, what did you do with Chad?
Yeah.
It's got a big drum back there, but yeah.
That trip was crazy. Those 2 shows I did. I mean, I know for a fact it was in Rancho too. I was running at least like 110 fever the entire time I was on stage. I just stopped. The Tylenol at that point wasn't doing anything, so I just stopped taking it. I was like, fuck this. And it wasn't until you got that NyQuil when we got to Sonora that it finally went away. That was
you slept for days.
Ridiculous.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it was fortunate. We had like 2 days between when we got to Sonora. We had like 2 days before right?
Yeah, I think we had 2 days in between.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe a
We
day.
did?
I think we had 2 days, day and a half.
2 full days, I think, at least.
I don't recall that at all. But again, I was a blur for me because I don't think I untouched the steering wheel. That was vicious. There's something about being ill on the road versus being ill, when you're in town, when you have to. We played shows here where I've just been. You've seen the again, the sneezing, the allergy attacks, at 24-hour allergy attacks.
Yeah.
Sneezing to where like just, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm going to ask you, I'll give you a heads up on the question now, but I was thinking about who I looked like. I was like that. I had another one of those kind of allergy ridden days, and
Jesus.
But I'm like the black Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm like the
Messiah.
the real one. So I'm going to ask you who you guys think that you look like. I'm going to ask you that in a second. But it was the other day too. Actually, it was the last SlapperCast. It was the very last SlapperCast we did. I had slept really well, but it was one of those sleeps that you wake up and you kind of. And I was thinking, who do I look like? I think I look like Iggy Pop if he washed up on a beach after being, like dead in the water, for a week. I looked like a. I did. It was just. I guess Iggy Pop is, it's better than present day Madonna, but still,
God.
it's
Present day Madonna.
I saw a picture of her. Somebody was making fun of her, and I had to. They showed a picture. I was like, but I think what they do is, I think a lot of the photographs that you see are
Like edited?
they zoom in and they like take all the imperfection. She just can't look like that. This looked like somebody that was, like a Burns unit victim. It was.
Like they held her down and just Botoxed it all up. Just.
I thought Botox is supposed to smooth it. No,
I think it was filler or whatever the filler is. Maybe it's not Botox. Whatever. It just was like like the cheek fillers. It was like. So I mean, she kind of looked like she was pumped full of air.
Yeah, so who do you think you look like? Well, I mean, if you were,
Kurt. That's
Yeah. Okay, that's obvious. Okay,
I couldn't miss that one.
Okay, so
people tell me, and I've told you this before. They say, especially I get this a lot when I wear my beanie, is that I look like Woody Harrelson, and you're like, no way. And then remember we were out, and somebody said it to me, and I was like, I told you. And then I think it happened 2 or 3 times.
Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
But I've been told that for a while. And I don't know if I think it's just a profile.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I never thought that.
Yes, I still can't see it.
People say that. I think it's a profile from the.
But have you ever looked in the mirror and said, "Oh, that kind of looks like
a Carrot Top"? I don't know.
Carrot Top.
I don't know. I got red hair, so
I have a theory about Carrot Top too. I think once he was born, his mother had to get her privates exercised. Like I don't know. That just to me screams.
I think he goes to the same doctor as Madonna.
Exorcism. Yeah. Or maybe he just walks around in a wind tunnel all day, and we only see him when he steps out for a second because it was Chad, who do you think you look like?
Especially when I get up first thing, I think I'm looking more and more like Uncle Fester every year.
What's that?
The dude from Addams Family?
From the Addams Family, yeah. It's a bald guy with dark circles under his eyes. He wears it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do if you saw it. Christopher Lloyd plays Fester.
He plays in the movies, yeah. I'm thinking about the original. The OG Fester.
OG Fester. That's pretty good, dude.
From the 60s.
You should be there for Halloween. That's pretty good.
It's been a while, but people used to say Moby. That was the running joke for a long time.
And that's just because it's a bald guy.
Yeah.
There's no.
Right.
There's no. I know I've posted pictures of Moby on your birthday and said happy birthday, Chad. But I mean, again, that's the.
That's good.
Again, I didn't even know who it was, and I still to this day couldn't tell you what he does. Again, same with all those bands that we talked. I think we've talked ad nauseum now about these bands, but I don't know any of their stuff. Which again is I don't know how I would hear it because I'm completely in control of what I get to listen to.
Who do you think Chad looks like?
Again, I'm just terrible at this. I saw Iggy Pop the other day when I woke up, and I was just, it was one of those deep sleeps to where if you told me that I had, like molested some farm animals or something, and I couldn't deny it because it was just I was out. I could have lost weeks, like coma sleep. So, but I mean, as far as I don't know who
he looks like. I think he's the bass player, guitar player. of the Descendants.
The Descendants?
Yes.
I'll have to look that up.
Yes, they have similar. I think what it is too is they have similar playing gestures, you know, like things you do when you play. Since I watch that band a lot, I'll notice it and then I'm like, oh, Chad does that. Or they kind of have a similar stomps and similar, like the way you guys kind of move. You have similar, I don't want to say nuances, but you know what I'm saying? The performing nuances. I don't know what the word is, you know, like you got your thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and again, so the people that look the exact same to me are the big burly guys with the beards.
Yes. Yeah.
And the baseball hats. No offense.
Right.
But
it's happening right now.
But you know what I mean? Like the beards that come down to here.
Yeah.
And usually Scott, and they got the baseball hat and they're kind of burly. To me, I can't fucking tell. You know, it's just they're undescribable except for the the beard. Oh yeah. Maybe a tattoo. Oh yeah. You know. So it's
nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, boss.
You're welcome. Well, I had to get you back.
I know.
Did
that hurt?
Yeah.
That hurt?
Oh yeah.
I got both to laugh. That's uncommon. Usually you get them to laugh, and then I'm just like, you know, but they laughed, and I was like,
oh no, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But I was making inroads.
No, you tried to get me first.
I did. I always do.
I know.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
I'm not telling the story. I'm absolutely not telling the story. It was very funny.
He said I was mean.
Huh?
You said I was mean.
I said you were being mean to me all day, which was true.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Laughing at me for all that.
The blue box?
The big
the big blue box? I was actually proud of that. Because you know me, I'm like, get a big box. I'm like,
yeah.
Put in the big box. And then
I was very, very happy to hear. Sorry, this is way too
sideball here.
Backdoor. Yeah, but this to be continued.
Okay.
To be continued because we are what do you know what time we're looking at?
5:36.
Oh, good. Yeah, we got a few minutes. Let me ask you this. So, if you had to describe your playing style, who would you?
Playing style?
Yeah. We know your influences.
Yeah.
We've talked about, you know.
Yeah.
But if you had to, let me retract that. Strike that from the records, Your Honor. Who could you step on stage right now and play for without anybody knowing that it was a different player? Now, granted, you don't have to know all the songs.
Assuming you know the songs.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
It's so funny because the bands that are influences to you, you always look up to them. You never go, oh,
yeah, it's just hard to imagine.
So you're like, you pull down. You're like, I gotta find somebody else. You know, why is that? It's the weirdest thing.
I don't. Yeah. Again, I don't know the player's name, but you know, like jumping in and playing with Steve Earle or something like that. I could jump in today, and I'd know enough.
Oh yeah, I just don't know who his bass players are, so I can't.
Yeah, I mean, just the band. Who you could jump in with?
That would be awesome.
And play for or Social Distortion. I don't know. I know the one song by Social Distortion. But I know I could get a.
Well, this is a tall order, but it just comes to mind because it's another trio. Is the Police, and I don't know. Obviously, I don't know all his things. I know he uses a pick a lot of the times, but he didn't also use a pick. But that's something I could say. I can't sing in his range. Yeah, but just playing. But you think you could play that stuff? Yeah, he's mostly just a finger player. I mean, he just picked too, but he doesn't do any. He's not a very flashy player. I mean, the person I would like to step in for, but it's just like would be Geezer Butler. I would love to play. See, I think Geezer would be easier to play than Sting. Possibly, yeah. I mean, a lot of my huge part of the way I play in this band comes from him. A lot of it comes. I mean, there's so much has been said could be extrapolated from just this one riff in War Pigs. Oh no, it's not War Pigs. It's NIB. Yeah, not do 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 do. That little trick he does there, that little pentatonic trick. That was like when I first figured that out, what he was doing. Like, ooh, I really like that. So there's a lot of my riffs are based off that kind of hammer-on kind of style, and I love that. I know a band that I've always when you kind of fantasize playing with them, I think I could learn it and fill in would be Rise Against. I think I could get into that one and do that band. I think another band, I don't know if you've heard of it, Face to Face.
Heard it front to back, never Face to Face.
Yeah, no, they I'm a huge fan of them. I used to go see them all the time when I was young, and I'm always like, I would like go. It was like when you're in the crowd and they're like, "Oh, our drummer broke his arm. We need someone to fill in." I would fantasize about that. Like, I'm here. You know what I mean? Let's go.
That was my thing with Karen Carpenter when she was alive. I was like,
Yeah.
I never asked. Only saw her once, but that's all right. I did see her live though.
It's those bands where I could put any of the records on and just go. I love it. I love it. I think those two bands I've probably listened to the most in my life collectively.
Yeah.
I think I could get up there and like one rehearsal, get it going, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe right now.
Yeah.
Depends.
What about you?
I already said it. Steve Earle.
That's such a small part of your style, though.
Well, I was thinking about this too because I've been writing the last few days, but the stuff that I really like to do is very. I don't know anybody else that writes the way I do, even plays the way I do, but like, just music that moves me has to have great melody, and lyrics are essential, but obviously it was second to the, who was it? So if you're listening to Ian Gillan's lyrics in Deep Purple, I'd score the lyrics as a F minus, but in the music, in the moment, and in the feel of that of Deep Purple, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's just singing the phone book. It's just powerful. It's just so well done. So, as far as, the truth of the matter is, I could, just about play and I could just about fake it in a lot of bands, but I'd really have to knuckle down and learn, just learn a little bit more theory, because right now I just get away with it. It's my good friend Rory would say, it's brute force and ignorance. It's just.
When you look at a band to fill in like that, are you going guitar and vocals like a combo, or are you separating those instruments?
Me, I would love to do like a Steve Earle thing to just those. His lyrics,
like guitar and vocal.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was curious how you were picking them. Like, what about just a guitar? Like just going in, because
just a guitar. I could do it. I'd probably be a lot better player if I wasn't singing, because I do take shortcuts when I write, because I don't want to concentrate too much on the thing. I want to sing better than I play. Of course I want to play as best I can, but just finding that moment to sit with the guitar and just do nothing. When I sit with the guitar, if I'm working on something and trying to focus on it and just really dig into it, I'll come across a riff that I like, and then I'll spend an hour playing with that. And it's just...
You're not going to go like an Iron Maiden guitar, just...
Oh, I would in a second, but I would have to relearn so much to get into that that style,
Yeah.
And I love that, again, as far as an Iron Maiden would go, or a Pantera, something like that, the stamina it takes to do a show like that. We played at the Continental Club, and I wore that jacket, that heavy jacket, and I just I couldn't move as much as I wanted to, because I was just so hot, just like seeing stars hot, like about to faint hot. And also I'm much better. My breathing is so much better, but it was still really constricted. My chest was really constricted from trying to get over this pneumonia I've had for 11 or 12 months now. So that said, playing like an Iron Maiden show or something, some Pantera or any of those, you have to, you can't stand and do it. And again, I do fantasize about just playing guitar, so you can move a lot more, because I'm tied to the mic, which I've done the headset mic before, which I love, but the band had horrific problems with it. Do you recall that?
No. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
What was the band's problem with it? They
didn't
hear it?
half of their signal was me walking to the mic.
We didn't realize until that first time. It was a Fido. He borrowed Flem's thing, and both Brian and I were laughing because we realized how much, because Brian would harmonize with him on the songs, and our cue would always be, because it was always an open question when he's going to start singing in almost every song. So the cue is like, and I'll be watching you out of the corner of my eye a lot of times to see where your head is, and if you go up like this, like, okay, here he goes, and I'll be prepared. But if you're standing somewhere behind us, and so you once you figured out that you had us fooled, you not only would you not be on the mic or anywhere near your mic stand, you'd be like behind the stage because you had your wireless too, I think, on your guitar. So we couldn't even see him, and he'd start singing, and then he'd come back and he'd be laughing. But
it was a lot of fun, but there was major fuck ups that day. It was just like, well, I can't see him. I was like, the song hasn't changed.
You also realized too that you couldn't just say something off. You couldn't say anything or sing anything off mic because you couldn't go off mic
because it's here. The microphone's here, so you think that you have to do. You have to point your mouth. You do not. It's a there's a wide pickup on it, so it's going to grab, and you couldn't, you couldn't make fun of somebody dancing.
I'd be screwed if you didn't have your pedal board. Like if somebody else was pedal changing for you.
Yeah.
There's certain, like, let's say we take like a 16 bar solo and now you're like, nope, I'm cutting it to 8 tonight. But you decide that as we're going, I know you're going to change when I see you getting ready to hit the pedal board.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have that, I'm like, oh man, I could get hung out real quick.
Yeah.
That would suck. We would recover in less than 2 hits, but it would just be, what'd the drummer do? You know what I mean?
So when was it? You tooled around with it recently. When was that?
Tooled around with what?
With a.
Oh, at the Pirate Festival, the second.
That's right. How come you didn't do it again after that?
Because the sound guy was awful. The sound guy in the room
that's right.
was fucking terrible.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it was a Warehouse Live. Usually we don't call these places out, but that place can go fuck itself. Not only did they screw over our friends that put the festival on, but the sound guys were completely uninterested in doing a job. It was essentially like they got one of the homeless guys off the street and just said, "Hey, just push all those buttons at the same time, and we'll."
Yeah. Not only were our mixes terrible, they had this massive side fill. I guess I was on both sides. These side fills, which were loud, and it was the one here was like right next to me, and it was like loud as fuck, and I couldn't. It was just like being smashed in the side of the face, and it took forever to get them to turn that shit down. It's like, could you not? We're here. We don't need this on, But that was like night and day because we did the festival was there twice, and as I recall, the first one was
flawless,
great.
Yeah,
but the sound.
But we got a sound check.
Completely turned over.
Yeah, everybody did.
Over. Yeah,
everybody did. Yeah. Well, they're gone. That's why they're gone. But they completely shafted the people putting the festival on. It's a pirate festival. Pirates' favorite drink is rum. They told them, do not run out of rum under any circumstances. The festival wasn't an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours long. It hadn't been open for an hour or 2 hours, and they were out. I was sitting in the backstage in the green room, and I saw these bartenders running back with these bottles of Bacardi and Captain Morgan's and all this stuff. They were grabbing them from all the other bars because they were out. And I was like, man, the first band isn't even finished playing yet.
Yeah.
We do have this weekend, though. We do this Saturday, this coming up. We're going to be back in Beaumont.
Yes. I think this is going to be a big one. I know it's a big surge of interest in that event as soon as Chantal put it up.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great night. And our good friend running sound's name is
Craig.
What was his name when we arrived?
Craig.
It was Craig, but what did you know? It was the night before.
The guy before I said his name was David or something, right? I kept calling him Craig.
Yeah, it was at 12th Street, right?
Yeah, in Huntsville, yeah.
And Chad came up and he goes, "Hey, sound guy's name is." Well, all right, cool. And we started calling, and at the end of the night, he goes, "Hey, that's not my name."
He didn't even indicate. Every time you say it on the mic, he was like, "Yeah."
But then he figured out at the end that we weren't thanking him properly. He's like, wait a minute. He goes, that's not my name. I was like, motherfucker, you know. And then we go to Beaumont the next night. The sound guy said, wait a minute.
Well, that was all because too, I just made an assumption. I was trying to get him, I was airdropping him our logo file just so he could put it behind us. And when he did that, somebody's name popped up on my phone, but I just assumed it was him, but it wasn't. So there was a Craig somewhere in the vicinity. So it wasn't him.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was good stuff.
So Beaumont at the Log On Cafe, and it's been just built, steadily building, and yes, and our good friend Mr. Bird is recovering. I don't know if you heard that, but he had a heart attack.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah, I asked Chantel about it, and she said yeah, he drove himself to the hospital. He was
right,
you know, and had a heart attack. Anyway, recovering, and he's back at work, so he'll be there.
Dang.
Yeah, you got to be careful, kids. Be careful, kids. Those Beaumont girls will knock you down. But yeah, it's and then coming up this week too, which we haven't figured out the day yet, but we must do it rapidly. But Doc,
yes,
is awaiting we're going to do he said just tell us when it is and he'll make sure he's available.
Okay.
So we're going to have
cool.
We're going to have our first we're going to do a meeting with him online, and we're going to share it with you, and we'll have you we'll have you signed up and ready to go to Ireland before you can say October is not that far away.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have the Newtons there. We're going to have
there's other Arizona peeps coming. I'm just waiting for them to get their confirmations, and then I'll share it. But just in case something happens. But
and we have our friends Aaron and Sean, I think, Gregory.
Yep.
Who were there at the
Continental.
At the Continental, yeah.
Oh, cool people.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I met them at Descendant show, and she was wearing a Mad Caddies t-shirt, and I freaking love that band. And so she was just standing there. I think he was getting drinks or something, and I was like, "Man, I love your shirt." And then he came up, and then next thing you know, we were talking, and then kind of traded info, and we just became friends.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man.
I thought you knew them for years.
No, it just seemed like it.
Yeah.
Like, I go, man, I feel like I've known you in a different life. I'm like, you sure we haven't met?
Yeah.
We kind of knew similar paths and stories, and but
So wait, where was that when you first met him?
this was here in Houston.
Descendant show.
It was at the.
It was at the Descendant show. Okay, because the first time I remember seeing him was at the Houston Botanic Gardens.
Yeah, I was kind of after that, and then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, I've come to a few shows, and then just with our schedules, it's busy. Like I tell people, it's really that's when I see you is the shows because we're just always on doing something. But I love how it's brings people together.
Yeah,
it still does that.
Oh yeah.
So, as Boss Man does. Why do I do that? I picked up some of your mannerisms. Have you noticed that? I'm always like, and I'm just like.
I've noticed that you have your hands down your pants a lot.
Yeah, in the back.
That's right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Oh, stop. Kendall.
What's happening?
I know. Yeah. Well, it's it's that thing too. When we spend this much time together, which I talked about briefly on the last episode at 309, talked about that 20 hours out to Arizona, and the majority of it we're all awake. Some, but there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures. I mean, a lot of things that happen in that thing, and we retell a lot of stories, but we end up finding out so much about. There's, for instance, I'm not going to name any stories, but when we go out to Arizona, we get to hear all about your childhood and your teens and your early 20s in Havasu, which is, you need to write a book. You need to write a book on this shit.
That's what Stacy says too.
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think she's ever been wrong. You better tell her I said that.
No.
No.
Don't say that.
That's erased. But there's so much there. And if the people at Havasu could read, that would be a big seller in Havasu. But stories are brilliant. I mean, they're just, same thing happens when we get ready to go to Ireland. We talk about these places. I start talking about all these places and things we got up to. And Havasu is such an enigma. It's such a
yes,
like this. It looks like paradise. It's just, it's really is. I'll tell you what town it looks like. And my friends in Havasu, do not be offended by this. I'll explain in a second. But it looks like the city of Utah in that it's pristine. It just, the lake and the walkways, and it just could not be more carefully manicured and so well.
it's nice.
Yeah, well maintained, right? Utah, same thing. We played at a place called Piper Down in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And I went for a jog the next morning, and it felt like a movie set. It was no rubbish, no shit in the street, it just looked like you could eat your dinner off the road. It was just stunning. And I went all the way down to the end, came back, and everybody said hello too. Everybody was like, I said, wait a minute, these Mormons? I was like, I was trying to pick out how many wives I could have, and then where to bury them.
Yeah, it was eerie.
Yeah,
I remember us commenting on that. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, but it was so. Anyway, Havasu is like that, but Havasu is a complete fucking opposite. This is where I saved myself. Havasu is the complete opposite. Mormons and most likely Scientologists in Utah. Havasu, pure demonic worship. I mean, pure, right?
Yeah.
Heathen. I mean, heathens, a heaven for heathens. It's
the sun.
Yeah. But it's the sun and what is it? Is it the hottest city?
Hottest living city.
Yeah,
Death Valley is the hottest, but nobody lives there. It's not inhabited. Havasu's like the hottest living city.
Death Valley, that sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
Say we get a commune together and we start our own.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not too far away.
I know, but it is brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. The natives of Havasu were still commending us for the last time we were there in September, excuse me.
Yeah, September. It should have been cooler, but it was freaking crazy.
1:15
at night.
1:14 at night.
Yeah.
And
1:19, I thought.
Yeah, it was one. I thought he said it was 1:21.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Yeah. Brad. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. Indirect sunlight.
Yeah.
It was 1:15 when we were setting up that time, right? In the first Friday.
I think they lied. I think it was 1:30 and they just were like, well, we don't want people to freak out.
No, I tell you,
I know we don't want Blaggards show to shut down. So
it was 1:20 something because the guy from there said that his clock in his car only goes to 1:19 and then it shuts off.
Oh, that's where that came from.
That's where it came from.
Yes.
So it was over that.
He was telling us that story where it was just locked or whatever it was.
Locked. It doesn't go any further. They just, it's 118, I think and he goes, so the whole summer it just sits at 118. He goes, it never moves.
Every time I tell people the story, when I told you guys the first time, I'm like, people there don't turn their cars on to warm them up. They turn them on to cool them down. You go out there and turn your car on so the air conditioning can blow for a while and you got towels and everything all over your dash. And I remember when I was telling you guys the story the first time, it's kind of like, yeah. And then we get out there, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is real. I told you, it just doesn't seem real.
Because I said I would never see it.
Yeah.
We would never be there in that. Then we're there into September and you couldn't, but the reason why you turn it on, you can't touch the steering wheel. You can't touch the seats.
You can't touch the seatbelt. No way.
No, you burn them. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
We used to have towels over everything. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was. Oof.
Yeah, when I first moved to the Northwest, I was in Bend, Oregon for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I may have said this before, but I moved there in the fall. And then, it's the base of a ski resort. So it's I never lived in snow. I went to snow, but I lived in Arizona. So, the snow is this high. You have to shovel the driveway, right?
Yeah.
You can't get the cars out type snow.
Yeah.
And it was, and I remember it snowed all the way around, like off and on. And it was Memorial Weekend in May. And it had snowed. And I'm out there de-icing the car, like the windshield, scraping it. And I sent a picture to my brother. He sends me a picture back. He's on the boat, right? All the guys and girls, bikinis and everything. And I sent him a picture. I'm in a full beanie, full snow gear, de-icing the car. And he's like, our lives are way different.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm regretting every decision that I've made in the last 6 months. Like, I was like, this is nonsense. I was like, what did I do? I was like, that's when I learned. They go, oh, do you have snow tires? I go, what do you mean? Like chains? And they're like, no, like snow tires. Like everybody here has 2 sets of tires. I go, I thought that Les Schwab was just trying to hustle me.
Yeah.
I mean, I left thinking they were trying to hustle me. And then I had to go back because, the neighbor's like, hey, man, you need to, or the guy who we rented a house from, he asked me, oh, you guys are from out of town? Hey, you guys got snow tires? And I was like, oh, that's a real thing? So I had to go back. And then they look like regular tires, but everybody keeps them in their garage. And you just, twice a year, you change your tires back and forth. And I'm like,
jeez.
I never even thought this was a thing. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I was like, man, I'm just trying to get my $2,000. Like, they just want my new tires.
Yeah.
I was like,
when I lived in Boston, of course, I didn't have a car because you don't need it. You're take the T everywhere. But the first minus whatever it was, I remember getting the T into Faneuil Hall and walking come from the outside and I had sunglasses on too because it was just so the wind was just so cutting and just so frigid and I opened up the door and there's double doors and the first door was fine. Second door felt like that punch in the face, but also your glasses were like they were going to shatter in my face and my teeth felt like they were
so cold.
Yeah, it was misery. And
Lord.
yeah, it's something else, and that's why I love Texas.
If you had to move somewhere else, where would you go?
Right there.
Come on, that's like me saying Kurt looks like me. I look like Kurt. You can't do the easy one.
If I had to move somewhere
out of Texas, not allowed to pick Texas.
If I had to move somewhere I've thought about this a lot, and I'm guessing New Mexico only because it's nice and close, and it's but it's got a lot of mountains. Of course,
you like it out there.
Yeah, I do, and I love the desert. I mean,
what about like Sedona? Something.
Yeah.
Sedona is gorgeous. Yeah,
that was weird. Like,
it's
crazy.
Yeah, but I'd like to go somewhere where there's a very old population too. Where you could kind of take advantage of the elderly and push them down and make videos and
Yeah, like bum fights or something. But it's
yeah. Hey, how old are you?
Gray fights.
86. Do you have any older siblings I can fight? That kind of stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. So no, I love the desert.
The lady did that.
We're still in the van driving out there, and as soon as the landscape changes, as soon as you start getting all the mountains, the mesas and all the I go nuts. And as a kid, you look at the thing, you go, now it's just I want to run out there. I just want to take off, and it's so weird because I never lose that. It's an instinct.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I was a criminal in my past life,
I think you like the openness of it.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can see it clear as day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need your own town.
Yes, I do.
You know what I mean? You're like population one.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, you want to come into my town?
Yeah.
We need to talk about taxes.
Yeah.
We have tariffs here and we have a post office.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
I will look it over and see if it's approved. You know what I mean?
That can happen.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Past Patty Customs.
Yeah. We're like, wait, you're over 86? Here, you have to sign this waiver.
Yeah.
For my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we wrap this up so we can get to rocking?
All right.
Let's do it.
We got to rock this woodshed. And we also need Stephen Ferris. If you're watching this, we need you to come on here. Who is Stephen Ferris and why are we talking about him? A couple of episodes ago, I was talking about Roy Gallagher. I'm going to tell you again. I was talking about Roy Gallagher and Horselips and Thin Lizzy and on and on. I'm going to tell you again. Jumping ahead of my own thoughts here. Nobody knows more about Horselips than Stephen Ferris. How do I know that? Because I've talked to him. Guys are just brilliant. And he's also turned into a friend. we've just become very. Well, I've spoken with him a few times, and but Stephen, Mr. Stephen Ferris, sir, we need you on the SlapperCast because we are we're going to be showing you some more clips, showing the rest of you some more clips, and just kind of just giving people a look behind the curtain and where all this music came from, and might even push you into looking up some of their stuff and, you know, doing some research yourself, because the music is tremendous. The stories are incredible. And I think that the map that took, you know, the music to where it is today all went through there. Anyway, so I say all that to say that we're going to have Doc on here talking about our trip, and we're also going to talk to Mr. Stephen Ferris about some of this music and just give you a little insight into where we came from and all that stuff. So we are grateful to have you. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us in the Woodshed. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's been, isn't that nice? So we are, we're gonna get ready to throw down here in a second. Next frame will be sweaty, noisy, obnoxious.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Cheers.